As we begin the official meeting of the City of Starke City Commission, there will be a time for voluntary prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Those willing to do so are asked to stand, and I will lead us in prayer and Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Lord, we thank you, God, for this day. God, we thank you for all of your wonderful blessings. We ask, God, that you will be with us as we conduct the city's business. Help us, God, to make the best decisions that we can with the information that we're provided. God, we ask that you will continually cover our men and women in our armed services and all of our first responders and our men and women in uniform. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. If the record will reflect that Mayor Redding is out tonight, and roll call will be done by Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor is out. Vice Mayor Janice Mortimer.
Present.
Commissioner Danny Nugent.
Here.
Commissioner Bob Millman.
Here.
Commissioner Dimple Overstreet.
Okay.
And City Manager Drew Collins.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with the roll call being done, our next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval as published, Madam Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion of Commissioner Milner.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Overstreet. Are there any questions or comments on the agenda motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried 4-0. And now we're on to the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion Commissioner Nugent
Second.
and second Commissioner Milner. And I'm assuming, Mr. Nugent, you're moving to approve the consent agenda,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. Are there any questions on the motion to approve the consent agenda? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved, 4-0. Are there any emergency items tonight? Madam Clerk?
No.
Okay. Citizens' request. The City of Starke welcomes you to this meeting. This time is set aside for our citizens and general public to address the City Commission. This is not a question or answer time. It is not a political forum, nor is it time for personal accusations or derogatory remarks to or about city personnel. If you would like to address the commission, please complete a form, come to the podium when you are called, speak into the microphone, and state your name and address for the record. Please also limit your comments to not more than 3 minutes. Your participation is welcome. I have one form. Mr. Alvin Hunter. Mr. Hunter?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Alvin Hunter, 455 West Pratt Street, here in Starke. A couple days ago, I was checking my mail. I found a unaddressed envelope, sealed, in my mailbox. Don't know who it came from. I handled it with kid gloves. I am retired military and retired law enforcement. I know how people work. So with gloves up to here, I opened it up, and to my surprise, I found a very derogatory letter addressed to the mayor and commissioners, which has not become a public record, which it should be, okay, full of lies. I want to know who wrote it. I want to know if the commission, did you receive the same letter I did?
Yes, sir, there was one on my desk.
Okay, all right, then you can understand why I'm upset,
Yes. Yes.
okay? After contacting my lawyer, he read it, and after verifying that none of these items in here are true, not one on this 3-page letter is true. I don't know who wrote it. I have reason to believe there was two individuals that could have written it. One is on our commission, our committee. The other one is not. But he has been present in our first 3 meetings. He has made inputs to it, which he has a right to do because he is a citizen of this city. But to tell out and out lies, after speaking with my lawyer, if we can find out who wrote this lie, this 3-page lie, it opens up not just that individual, but the city of Starke to a multi-million-dollar class action suit, which I intend on following up with. Now, I'm asking Captain Mueller if you could pass to the sheriff. I would like to have an investigation into this. I want to know who wrote it. I also want to know if Florida Sunshine laws have been violated.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hunter, appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. So, Mr. Attorney, can you advise us on your legal direction on how best to handle Mr. Hunter's request?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I did receive a copy of the letter. I don't remember how I came into a copy of it, but I did receive it. This was a couple of months ago, I think, is when that came out.
I know I was out with my surgery, and when I came back, there was one there. I don't know when the others received it. Go ahead, Mr. McCann.
Yeah, there's a letter got stuck up here, but I don't know what Elvin's letter is, because I can't see that far, to be honest with you, but, I don't, Elvin, did you get that in the mail, or is it?
It was in my mailbox, unaddressed.
Let me ask you a question, Alvin, and I don't want to belong this thing too long. Is that a letter about the Charter Review Committee?
Yes, it is.
And accusations
Okay.
about the clerk?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's just
And accusations against me and Chief Johnson.
Okay, all right. So give us some direction. Is there something we need to
It
have a?
seemed to me as, and again, it was an anonymous letter, and so it seemed to be a non-issue. I think it spoke to, and I'm trying to recollect what was exactly in the letter, but it spoke to procedural issues, and even if there were procedural issues on the Charter Review Commission, my conclusion was that those procedural issues had long been cured, and that whatever the grievance was a non-issue. That was my immediate conclusion, and since it was anonymous, it just, it seemed to be almost a non-issue,
Okay.
the way I recollect it.
Okay. So Mr. Hunter, you've asked the sheriff to investigate? on
Yes,
this?
I have.
Okay, and.
I'm hoping, I'm trusting Captain Mueller will speak with the sheriff about this.
Okay,
If not, I will call in myself.
okay, thank you. Okay, is there any new business tonight? Come before the board, okay? Old business, Charter Review. Madam Clerk,
It's going well.
we met today?
Yes, ma'am, we had a meeting today. We're gonna give the attorneys a couple weeks to finalize the last bit of language. All 10 were present tonight, and it's going very well. We'll have a final draft for them the first part of April, and we are on time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, impact fees.
No update.
Pardon?
No update.
Thank you. No updates on impact fees. Public hearings, we have a quasi judicial hearing. We'll turn it over to who am I turning it over to? Who's quasi today?
One of
Attorney.
these,
Mr. Attorney.
as a quasi-judicial, there was an article that was authored by Judge Scott Makar in I think it was a Florida Law Review, but he posited that these annexations should be done in a quasi-judicial, so we always do them quasi-judicial, that's why we do that, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
Anyone who intends to speak on this matter, if they would stand and raise your right hand when you come to the podium, announce your name. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, Lance. And then also, we'll start with Commissioner Nugent. Any ex parte communication?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
And with that, we can proceed.
Read it.
I do this every time. This is ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance of the City of Starke, Florida, pursuant to petition number Annex ANX 26-01 by Starke Express Wash LLC relating to voluntary annexation, making findings, annexing certain real property located in Bradford County, Florida, which is reasonably compacted and contiguous to the boundaries of the City of Starke, Florida, into the boundaries of the City of Starke, Florida, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass ordinance number 2026-06 and read by title only at the appropriate time.
Union Commission, Lance Campbell, Planning and Zoning. What you have here is a voluntary annexation to join our city. If you look at the map that's attached in there, it is on the southern part of 301 right across from Walmart. It's just under 2 acres. Their intent is to annex, also to utilize utilities and stuff like that as well. This is a Snappy's car wash that is already existing. Staff recommendation, also the North Central Florida Planning Region Council agrees contiguous, should be approved.
Okay, commissioners, you've heard the report from Lance Campbell with zoning on ordinance 2026-6. What are the wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, Commissioner Nugent makes a motion to approve ordinance 2026-6 on first reading. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Overstreet. Are there any questions on the motion? No questions on the motion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? First reading is approved 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Okay, on to staff reports. City manager?
Yeah, I'd like to welcome 1898 Noteworthy today. If y'all remember, last year I made mention that we were GIS mapping the electric system. So there was a combination of the work done today. So I just wanted to, David and I wanted to be sure you all saw this and actually saw the fruits of the labor.
Okay.
Really neat, really neat.
Okay, so,
David, you want to come up?
Okay.
As y'all know, when I came into the system, we didn't have very much mapping in the system. A few paper maps here or there of our total electric system. So we went on a venture to try to get up to speed and up to date with some GIS type mapping. And I reached out to a friend, a longtime friend and ex-coworker, Darius Friend, who's here with 1898. And he started us on the road to getting mapping in the system. And he's also here with Joel Bernstein of Noteworthy AI, which also did some very neat stuff to our system with some of the cutting edge technology that's out there. So I want to introduce Darius and Joel to come and do the presentation for us tonight.
yeah, okay. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, first, thank you for the opportunity to present your project today. What you guys have done here is pretty outstanding. We'll get to some slides, but you use cloud-hosted services in the cloud for software services and use AI technology to do secure collection So we'll be brief.
Which one are you? Are you Joel or you?
So my name is, we'll do some introductions. Here's the agenda. Again, we'll try and be brief. We'll understand that you're on a time crunch here. Introduction, we'll just kind of go over the project, show some slides. We have some demos if you want to see some demos, but we do have some screenshots of the data we collected to show you on the slide deck. So my name is Darius Friend. I work for 1898 & Co., which is part of Burns & McDonnell. We offer a host of services. One of them that you guys have utilized is your geospatial platform modernization. So we created the GIS data model. And this is Joel.
Yep, Joel Burnson, I'm Noteworthy AI. We're based in New Haven, Connecticut. We're about a 5-year-old company focused on bringing new technologies to the utility space. We work with a lot of large investor-owned utilities. This is actually, for us, a very exciting project in that we were able to see a smaller utility benefit from our technology as part of the project. So real excited to show what we did with 1898 in the city of Starke.
All right, so on the right there, we've got a screenshot of a map. That's a map of your electric system. It was in a older digital format. It only showed your overhead primary, not your secondary services down to the house and the poles and the equipment such as transformers and lights. So the starting point was, there was a limited budget. Projects like this usually involve lots of IT staff, field data collection, but fortunately, as a member of the FMPA, you had through member services, you could contract through FMPA to contact 1898 & Co. and provide some services to you for this project. Additionally, your linemen, it was all in their head, but we had to get it out of their head and into a digital format because there's quite a bit of risk there if they, left the city, all that knowledge goes with them. So as David mentioned, he had a vision and strategy for Starke, namely implement a geospatial information system which establishes your asset management program, your system planning. So as your electric needs increase, he'll have a map to see the bigger picture. Also improve reliability. So now that you know where your assets are and you're managing those assets, you can improve your reliability. Improves reporting. Now we have more accurate reporting through a GIS system. The biggest benefit here is recovering revenue. So now that you have mapped your entire electric system, David is now more aware of third-party attachers such as AT&T or fiber, whatever might be attached to your poles. That's an opportunity to recover some revenue for your system. And then, of course, his overall final strategy there was to reduce overall costs by using the linemen. They would go out and field collect the data and kind of build that GIS as they're doing their daily work. And we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So after we met with David, we came up with a project plan. We went through a couple iterations of that plan. We deployed your data model into the cloud. It's fully cloud services, the servers, the data, the software, it's all through subscription through the cloud. We deployed some web maps and web apps to allow the interaction with your data. Then we developed a data model to accurately represent how you guys engineer your system. So when you click on that pole, that transformer, you'll get the information that you want out of the system. So then we got the CAD from FMPA, we converted that into your data model and then published that into a map. And then we trained your linemen on how to go out and field collect the data while they're doing routine work, trouble calls, schedule work, things like that. So that was kind of the challenge though. These men are great, but their priority is restoring the system and keep your system up and running. So there were some operational constraints and some operational priorities that kind of challenged that data collection. So with that, 1898 & Co. started doing some research for David, trying to find some alternatives to the field data collection in-house. Traditional labor-intensive field data collection involves men in a truck, they get boots on the ground, and they walk pole to pole, where they might park in a block and walk the whole block and filling out a form. That's very labor intensive, quite a bit of money, and many months, maybe a year's worth of time. So with AI being new, kind of in the news recently, we looked at some Esri business partners, and then did some interviews, and then we introduced Noteworthy AI to David and the city of Starke.
Thank you. So the very short version of what Noteworthy AI does is we put cameras onto typically utility fleet vehicles. And with the camera, it's able to automatically collect information about all the overhead distribution assets. So it works fully autonomously. There's no disruption to the crew, so if they're driving somewhere over the course of the day, all the poles that we drive past, we automatically collect that information on. What we did, because it was a little bit unique project for us as well, we actually did full service collection. So one of my colleagues came here and actually got to have one of David's linemen join him in the vehicle and told him all the roads to go down, where to turn, how to get from one part of town to the other. And we were able to collect your entire system automatically. So this next slide just gives a real high level. This is what our cameras look for. We've got one camera that's stereo vision. It's able to determine depth and distance, so we use that to locate the poles. And we collect high resolution imagery of the poles on either side of the street automatically. And then that goes into a cloud environment, like Darius was mentioning, where we process a bunch of analytics models on it. So
Was that our snow?
No.
no. We're based in Connecticut. That was my
I thought I
backyard.
missed this.
That was my backyard. I've had a lot of snow this year. As Darius mentioned, when you typically field collect this, you're just trying to get an inventory of all the components and make sure you've got the location accurate. One of the benefits that City of Starke has now with the solution that we've provided is it's not only the location and the components listed for the pole, we actually provide imagery of the pole and automatically detect all the components, inspect those components for various types of damage and conditions. We did a lighting audit so you guys better understand where there's actually lighting assets that you're powering, another opportunity to potentially recover costs for the system. We help manage vegetation, so there's a bunch of vines that we detected on poles that have been proactively maintained as a result of this. Bigger picture, we can actually help patrol after an extreme weather event and find where the damage is to help restore power faster. Just having a baseline of the system is key to that as well. And then we also did, as Darius mentioned, this joint use attachment inventory, which actually can help recover costs and generate revenue for the city as well. So what we did, at a real high level, we were introduced to the city of Starke through 1898. We did a virtual demo. He joined a webinar, and we were able to show him, here's what we do generally. Here's another customer that we did this for. We were able to put together a proposal for the solution and what that would look like. We were very cost effective compared to conventional approaches to collect this data. And we were doing a much more comprehensive service than you typically get for a project like this. Effectively, what Darius mentioned would have been several months or longer using a conventional collection method turned into a 7-hour project. So we showed up one afternoon, we drove around for a few hours, it started to get dark, we showed up again the next morning, jumped back in the car, finished driving around, we were done by about lunchtime. So now there's a full catalog of all the assets that are on the grid. You can see on the map there, these are the City of Starke limits and all the poles that are part of that system. And then, as I mentioned, you're able to recover a lot of the costs from this project through the joint use audit. We have some dashboarding tools and stuff. I was actually visiting David earlier today, and it was great to see how interoperable our system is with the overall project that Darius was helping deliver for the GIS and what David's new workflow looks like with the two technologies together. But all of our data that we've collected ultimately gets populated into the GIS system that 1898 helped configure and stand up. You can see all the different components from a reporting perspective, so if you ever needed to do long-term planning for replacing different types of assets, we've got a great catalog of all that. Also done the same thing for the lighting side, and then just real high level to show you the types of results that you get. David's able to click on any point in his map, pull up a picture that has a reference quality photo there, breaks down everything that's there, and help him more proactively maintain the system. And I'll turn it back over to you to show how that integrates into the GIS.
Yeah, thank you. So earlier I mentioned reliability and asset management, and this is an actual photo from the city of Starke. You can see there that Noteworthy AI is able to identify damaged or transformers that need maybe special attention. So now David has better insight into the assets that make your system run, and now he can deploy his team to go out there and address these issues. So as Joel mentioned, the data is interoperable. The data that his company collected, we put it into your GIS, and this is an example of a web map that David has access to, or anybody in Starke, if he wants to share it with anybody who wants to see it. And then on the right side there is a screenshot from the field map app. So the linemen have a mobile app on their phone or tablet, however they operate, and they can also see the same map that anybody in the office sees as well. They can also update information, so if the poll information is incorrect, or they add a poll, remove a poll, they have the ability to update the system in real time. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here. So you guys went from no GIS capability to a fully operational GIS, complete with asset management, system planning, field mobile apps. Your entire system was mapped, not just your poles, but your transformers, your switches, your fuses, your lights, third-party revenue. You can go after that now. So you have a fully operational system. It was a low-cost deployment, so David's vision, he had an idea in mind, and we put a plan together to execute on that. We collaborated with Noteworthy AI. They did a great job doing field data collection with their AI technology. Now you can leverage that investment for ongoing routine work. So throughout the year, AT&T or whoever else might be attaching to your poles, you can continually do these audits because now you know what was there before with Noteworthy's AI data, and now you know what's new and what's been removed. So you can do those comparisons on a regular basis. Additionally, you can continue building out this GIS, so it's not just electric. Now you have opportunities to put your water, your wastewater, and your gas in the same system and have a very broad overview of what's going on throughout all utilities at the city of Starke. So thank you for your time. That's the end of our slides.
Thank you, Mr. Friend and Mr. Bernstein, we appreciate it. Are there any questions from the?
Yeah, I had one. With the new system, you said you can see that stuff. Does it track the conditions, like, did you take videos of how many poles that we need to replace for the damage, or the LED light system? That we had some lights we haven't swapped out, so they're tracking the ones we haven't replaced, so we have a total how many we need to be purchasing on upgrading the light system.
I mean, it gave a condition of the poles and
And the LED lights.
yeah, but I mean, when it comes to street lights, that's an ongoing.
I'm going
Constant
still swapping out. I just wanted the idea how many poles maybe we had left to do.
Yeah, you view it as like a point-in-time exercise with what we did, and we were talking with David earlier, but you don't necessarily have to do it every day, every week, but over a period of time, you're gonna wanna recollect, because that ultimately gives you the ability to see changes to the system over time. I'll just give an example here. You mentioned LED lighting, so.
Some of that stuff get expensive, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. Yep, so we have a number of different categories of things that can be reviewed. Oops, not that. So we'll do lighting intelligence. So if I just do this will short list. These are all fixtures that are non-LED today as of when we did the analysis. So. Trying to zoom, I'm not on my computer.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to zoom on that.
Yeah.
I don't have my mouse, sorry.
Okay. This is a much higher resolution picture than what's on the screen, so you can actually zoom in and get up real close, but just based on the shape of that, I can tell from the dome it's not LED, but this is also something that can be exported as a list, all the geo coordinates for every pole that's on that list, so if you're trying to come up with an inventory of poles that you need to, that's how you do it.
Help David a lot.
Yep, absolutely. No, David was showing me how he works with it today. It's great to see.
And that data is integrated. So we're looking now at the GIS map. So from this map, we can click on a pole, information about that pole comes up. And then down here, you can look at Google Street View. Or we do have a direct link back to Noteworthy AI data, which I think I put up here. Okay, it looks like you need to update that, but we do have a link to Noteworthy AI, so just like Google Street View, you can go right to Noteworthy's data as well.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. I'm excited. There's a lot of us who've been waiting on this for a long time. And it is generally prohibitively expensive for a small city, even with FMPA's contracts to get it. So I'm very impressed. When your vehicles come around that day, a few days later, I said to Drew, I saw the weirdest, it wasn't Google. I said, this thing pointing up in the air. And of course, he's laughing and tells me it was you guys.
Yeah.
And, but David and I talked about it, and the amount of data that you all have specific to exactly what we need, like you say, arresters, animal guards, whether or not we have cable companies that have put attachments up without our knowledge or approval, etc. Anyway, this is astounding amount of information. I am really looking forward, I know David is, Drew, what it's going to allow our electric line crew to do compared to what we've had to do manually in the past. This is literally light years away.
So I will say, we do a lot of work with large investor-owned utilities. You guys are effectively the first in the nation to have done this for this type of utility. And I mean, we're very proud of the work we did with the city and with 1898. I think there's a lot of other smaller utilities, municipal utilities that aren't facing very similar challenges. So we're excited to have you guys as an example of what can be done with the technology.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Ms. Overstreet, do you have anything?
Oh, I think they're fantastic, and thank you, David, also. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks
So,
for the opportunity.
well, you mentioned we had a limited budget, but we were able to piggyback off of our FMPA
Yeah,
membership.
through our member services through FMPA,
Okay,
there's a list of contract, it's a wide array of services that are offered, not necessarily through FMPA itself, but they have the contracts for us to be able to do this type
Okay.
of work. So rather than us having to go out for an RFQ, RFP, anything like that, we can go off of that list and get these type of services.
and I'm gonna assume that it was at a substantial savings.
Oh, yeah.
How much was that? I
Oh,
mean,
I couldn't give you a,
okay,
Ours is priced probably about 60–70% lower because
Okay.
I'm doing a group buyer program.
right, okay.
So it's
okay.
comparable to what
So you-
the larger utilities get
so
for
you-
pricing.
Drew, you can't tell us what the savings is though. I just
I
want us to
mean,
know what a benefit is, FMPA is really benefiting,
I mean, times 38,000 times 60%.
wow,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
And that's the biggest portion of it, yeah.
okay. David, how long have you been with us?
Well, counting the part-time work that Drew likes to call, right at 2 years.
Oh, okay, okay, well, thank you so much for having the vision, to bring this together. And so what kind of, is there, and I'm not, that's okay, we'll wait for you, go ahead. You get it, get me out? That's our attorney, Just kidding. So is there an amount of training, staff training to be able to work this system, David?
It is not that cumbersome, really and truly.
not?
If you,
Okay.
if you can navigate just basically a computer, it can be very easily. I'm not the most computer literate person in the world.
Okay.
Harris can attest to that. But I can navigate through that fairly easily.
Yeah, okay.
It's fairly simple to learn once it's repetitive, once you do it a few times. But the information that we've gained off of this, and relatively low cost, if you really look at the total cost of the project, you'd be astounded at how cheap we were able to get
Right.
through this.
Yeah, yeah.
You would think thousands and thousands of dollars, and we were just over around $12,000 total
Yeah.
budget on it.
Yeah, and I really like the ability for us to add our other services in.
Yes.
Because I was talking to Drew about, our water sewer lines and our infrastructure is well dated, but we really need to be able to bring that in, and this is an opportunity for that. So thank you, Mr. Friend. and Mr. Berman.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Darius and Joel.
And
Yes.
one more time, it's, to me, it says something, we're the oldest municipal power provider in the state, around 1800, right?
Right.
So here we are today with this top technology,
Right.
cutting edge, and here it is. The only one that, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving right along. Drew, did you have anything else?
Yes, we've got the building zoning report,
Oh,
permits issued, code enforcement cases. So Lance, take that over.
Lance Campbell, Building and Zoning Department. I'll just start by reading off. This will be for February, the month of February. Residential permits issued were 21. Commercial permits of those 21 was only 1. Contractor registrations, we had 8, which was surprisingly high, but there's starting to be more and more. There's more work coming in the city. Inspections performed on those were 35. The revenue from those permits was $16,235.64. Mr. Kroll, our code enforcement officer, opened 6 cases, closed 2. One of those included a demo on Church and I believe it's Nona. Church in Nona. If you noticed by Jones Gallagher, there's a home that was torn down. That was that one.
oh, where? Didn't see it last time I was there, so I guess it's gone.
And then public contacts, there are 13, just educating people on code violations and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for Lance on the report? Danny? No?
Okay, thank you, Lance.
Okay, thank you, Lance, appreciate it. Wait a minute, hold on, don't go, I did jot one down. So on that, it's just an inquiry, my question about the contractor registration. So I'm assuming that we keep a list of the contractors as they register. How do we manage that?
We have a software that keeps track of all of it.
Software, okay.
Pretty much we're just verifying people applying on a permit are
Okay.
state certified.
Okay,
Or
now,
local registered.
are these like the contractors, Becky, that bid on our work contract, or these people that's coming in to do work outside of the city?
Any and all trades.
Any and all?
Those are
Okay.
the same people.
Okay, because I know we opened up the contracts for the bids for the RJE, and there were 4 or 5 that bid on that.
Yes, ma'am. When
So
they,
those people would have been included in this if they weren't already contractors, are they?
Are they close to
when they go to apply for the permit for that job, at that point, those
That's when the
contractors will
registration-
register
okay,
with us.
okay.
We're just verifying that they're certified to do the job they're applying for.
Cool, thanks. Anything else? Thanks, Lance. Appreciate it. You okay, Mr. Walker? You mad? Okay. Public safety, law enforcement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I provided y'all a report for y'all's information to give you knowledge of what we did during the month of February. Additionally, I'm here if you have any questions or requests from the sheriff's office. I'm happy to go to the report with you, but I don't want to take up your time unnecessarily.
Any questions from anyone on the report? The Baker Act, that seems kind of high, is that?
It's not, it is high, but it's normal.
It's normal?
It's consistently that high, yes, ma'am, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Turner? Oh, I'm sorry, clerk. Chrissy, listen, I'm gonna have them put you first.
It's okay.
Ladies should always be first.
No worries at
So
all.
y'all change that on the agenda, and I'll tell the mayor I made that change.
No
Ladies
worries.
first.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a couple of quick things, actually. Audrey Myers from the Allen Chapel Church does an annual prayer walk. She has been doing it for 5 years. She was unable to attend for her public thing, and just basically wants the blessing of the commission. They started on Lottie Road, they go to a couple different churches, they swing by City Hall. It's a 3K walk, run, or ride, and they, pray for everyone, they pray for the city, they come by here. I know when I was inducted, they came by my office and prayed. So she just wanted to let everybody know and invite everybody as well. It's March 28th at 8 a.m. And you will meet at the Allen Chapel Church on Old Lonnie Road.
Yeah, just to kind of add a little more context to that, they have been doing this for the last 5 years, and what they do is they start at the church, and they strategically have folk that are stationed at various locations along the walk, and they stop and they pray, and then they move on, and it's really an uplifting experience. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend all the years before, but last year I was able to attend. But because I had the ankle issue, I had to be stationary. So they put me at one of the stations to do the praying. And I thought I was very honored to be able to do that. But this year I do plan on participating with the clerk. And, you know, it's just a way, you know, of us trying to keep ourselves centered on what's really important. You know, get outside of all this noise and kind of focus on what you know, what we're supposed to be doing, praying for each other, helping each other. So you're all welcome, March 28th at 8 o'clock. And they have refreshments, they have snacks, they have fruit, you know, that kind of stuff at each station, and Gatorade and water and that sort of thing. Okay? Anything else, Madam Clerk?
That's all I have.
Okay, now.
We had a meeting at our office. Danielle just reminded me of this. Kirsten and Danielle and Derek, I think, ran the meeting. I was in court, so I couldn't be there. But James came to help with the budgetary things, and they were basically having an open dialogue with the finance folks from each of the cities that we represent about what happens if ad valorem taxation goes away. And the general consensus, according to Danielle, is that your budget's going to be okay and should be able to survive it if it does come to pass.
It will. At what point, we don't know, but it's coming. Yeah. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any questions for Mr. Walker? No? Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to Commissioner reports. Commissioner Overstreet, we'll start with the ladies.
I'm just thrilled with everyone. And thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Overstreet. It's a pleasure having you.
Down here by myself.
Yeah. Move on down. Mr. Milner?
No, as Mr. Walker pointed out, on the ad valorem, and you all get the emails every day from the big cities and the rest of them, or you just read it in the public arena, but it appears the governor and the legislature set to have a special session at an unknown date at this point, since they're about to finish up next week. So they won't address the property tax potential reduction during the regular session, but they're definitely going to bring it back. The good news for us is the House and the Senate can't agree on anything with the governor at this point. But it is not a dead issue by any means. There's some elected officials that are up for election, and they are adamant about passing some semblance of tax ad valorem relief as they see it. So I think, unfortunately, we will see it. It's going to be between maybe now and July 1st or something.
Okay. Mr. Nugent?
Only thing I got is, the 19th this month, League of Cities dinner will be in Green Springs. The social starts at 6, the dinner probably about 6:30 over there. At the country club. Hang on that point. That's it.
That's it? Okay. Yeah, I think we did a fantastic job hosting. You know, thank you, Madam Clerk, Mr. Nugent, Kathy, everybody that was involved in putting that on. That's not an easy task to do.
They're very happy all the guests were.
They're always happy when they come to start, because we kind of outshine everybody else. You know, we're the gold standard, and I think they know that. That's why we always have good attendance. But that was a really well-attended and well-organized event. It's me now, right? Okay. All right. So last week I attended the APTA Congressional Conference with Mr. Mullins in Washington, D.C. Had a really, really good turnout and some good information. Had some good meetings with our legislators there. I didn't attend the one with Scott because it was too cold. It was freezing on Tuesday. It was freezing, so I just stayed there and attended some of the in-house meetings while Drew went out and did did the politicking. But I did attend the meeting with Congresswoman Kamak on Wednesday. Very, very good reception. She's always thrilled to see Starke. She has actually begged me to take a picture with her, which I graciously complied with her. I gotta make sure I send that to her. But there were several major issues that APPA did present to the elected officials, and the one that really sticking in my mind is the data centers and the impact that's going to have on the grid and on the electric providers. So, you know, there's a lot that's going to be coming down the pipe, and since we are one of the few in the state, I think, in the nation that actually, municipalities that actually provide our own power, we're going to be definitely impacted. So we're going to try to stay on top of that legislation. Did you have something to say, Danny?
No, I was just thinking outside my head.
Don't think out loud. You can think outside, but don't say it out loud.
Something I need to do.
There's a name for that, Danny.
I gotta give Kevin.
We want to do that, make that 11 megawatt. That's a joke. That's a joke. Laugh. Okay. So the only thing I do have is I do want to say that, you know, on what Mr. Hunter brought up about this anonymous letter, you know, transparency is very important, you know, it should be for us in public office. We don't have anything to hide. Everything that we do needs to be done out in the sunshine because, you know, we're representing our constituents and we always want to represent them in the most ethical way. I've been asked over the years from people to deliver anonymous, you know, I got a letter I want to give to the commissioners. This is what they usually say. Can you handle it for me? No. My constant response is always no. I'll take the one that you want if you want to give me one. But if you want to distribute it, you know, there's a process that you need to follow to make sure that it's done right and that, you know, I'm protected and you're protected and my colleagues are protected. And quite frankly, you know, anonymous letters sometimes, you know, I'll read them just out of curiosity mainly, but sometimes I don't give it a lot of credence because, you know, if somebody's going to tell you something but not sign their name to it, how much credence do you give somebody that don't identify themselves? But it doesn't diminish the information that they're trying to share with you. But I just think it's important that, you know, people want to be heard and they want the issues to be addressed, then you should be able to sign your name to it. I'm not afraid to sign my name to whatever I feel strongly about. But with that being said, you know, I just want to ask this board to make sure that we always represent our constituents, our city, ourselves, our families in the highest and most ethical manner. Transparency is important because when we start to do things that's a little bit behind, that's a little shady, then it makes us look like we're trying to hide something and I don't have anything to hide. I mean, you know, it's an open book because we're here to do the business of our city, to handle the business of those people that go to the polls and elect us and pay our salaries. So with that, I want to say thank you guys. It's been a pleasure being your mayor tonight, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn, Ms. Nugent. Second, Ms. Overstreet. All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? None.